Hi, I'm Jared Jenish, a librarian at the Howe Library in Hanover, New Hampshire. Today I'm going to provide a quick highlight of 7 books on race and racism available in Overdrive that can be read and accessed while the library is closed. When They Call You a Terrorist, a Black Lives Matter memoir, is the account of her experiences by Patrice Kahn-Cullors, one of the 3 co-founders of the Black Lives Matter movement in 2013. The author, an activist, artist, organizer, and Fulbright scholar, recounts her childhood growing up poor and black in LA, her journey into activism, and the history of the Black Lives Matter movement. Me and White Supremacy: Combat Racism, Change the World, and Become a Good Ancestor. An East African, Arab, British, Black, and Muslim woman, Laila Saad, in 2018 launched an Instagram challenge, Me and White Supremacy, that went viral. Thousands of people uploaded accounts of their own actions that they had come to recognize as racist. Her workbook for taking personal responsibility for one's own implicit racism was downloaded nearly 100,000 times and has been reworked into this volume. Kirkus Reviews calls it a bracing and highly useful tool for any discussion of combating racism. Ibram X. Kendi is the National Book Award-winning author of Stamped from the Beginning, a definitive history of racist ideas in America. His most recent book, How to Be an Anti-Racist, named one of the best books of 2019 by the New York Times Book Review, The Washington Post, and NPR, is another resource for rooting out racism in ourselves and in society. The New York Times calls it the most courageous book to date on the problem of race in the Western mind. In White Fragility: Why It's So Hard for White People to Talk About Race, Robin DiAngelo tackles the complex set of reactions that white people have to discussions of race, and the ways in which these responses serve to reinforce and perpetuate the status quo. This slender and best-selling book has become a kind of Bible for those wishing to excavate such responses in themselves. Even though we currently have 32 digital copies on Overdrive, it's popular enough that there is at the moment a wait list. As the New Yorker puts it, its value lies in its methodical, irrefutable exposure of racism in thought and ideas, and its call for humility and vigilance. Michelle Alexander's book, The New Jim Crow: Mass Incarceration in the Age of Colorblindness, is widely considered to be one of the most important books written on race in recent decades. Published 10 years ago, it has been chosen for campus and community reads across the country and cited in judicial cases. It is one of the reasons that activist movements today, like Black Lives Matter, focus on the criminal justice system. Kirkus Reviews calls it alarming, provocative, and convincing. I'm Still Here: Black Dignity in a World Made for Whiteness by Austin Channing Brown is a narrative of the author's lifelong experience of systemic and personal racism. The book ranges from an account of being the only child of color in a kindergarten classroom to life in urban neighborhoods and middle-class schools to her cousin's death in prison. The author discloses with honesty the rage and sometimes hopelessness that the fight against racism has involved for her. She also tackles the complicated relationship between racism and explicitly Christian values. Named one of the best books of the year many times over in 2015 and a National Book Award finalist, Ghetto Side: A True Story of Murder in America by Jill Leovy, is a devastating examination of a series of murders of young black men in the South Side of LA. Deeply nuanced in its examination of the victims, their families, witnesses, and police departments involved in the crimes and their aftermath, it also defies stereotypes in many ways, including detectives who are tireless and dedicated in their search for the killers. The New York Times calls it a crucial 366-page reminder that Black Lives Matter. Again, these are all books that can be found in the Howe Library's Overdrive collection as either ebooks or e-audiobooks or both. Thanks for watching.